I saw that Donald Trump went to a UFC. I also saw that he snubbed Cheryl Hines. I mean, when you see it, he's sticking to his crowd. They're appealing to the video gamer, UFC, Logan Paul, Aiden Ross fans. They're being very specific with who they're targeting, which is young men. They're trying to radicalize young men into backsliding towards that old, silent bullying, toxic masculinity from the 50s.
Think about this. He's at the White House watching the fights. That's a crazy thought. Like, it's a crazy thought he's at the White House. The fights are on.
It's pretty incredible.
Crazy. It's
Dude,
insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dude, there's the diss. I know they are glazing, but did you see the diss of Cheryl Hines? This brings back to the shit that, that's the fucking, weird abuser bro quality of him to, shit on all the women, right? Shit on women like that, refuse the handshake. He didn't even look at her. You know what I'm saying? And she's, really upset. But fuck her, man. She's, married to RFK Jr. And what is he going to do? He's going to let him fucking treat his wife like that? Can let him just shit on his wife like he did to Ted Cruz's wife and to everybody else's wife and family? And these guys will all put up with it because they don't care. They have no fucking scruples. Like RFK Jr., it's not like he cares about Cheryl Hines. Dude, he was jerking off, having phone sex with Olivia Nuzzi during his campaign. That was 8 months ago. He doesn't give a shit about Cheryl Hines, right? He probably just married her because she has family money or some shit. We don't know what's going on, but he gives zero fucks about her, RFK Jr. He's a degenerate fucking rapey prick too. All of these guys are.
Perhaps a new low in the race for president. The focus turning to the wives of two of the Republican candidates. Senator Ted Cruz coming out swinging today, blasting Donald Trump for a retweet with pictures of the two wives side by side and the comments made about Cruz's wife. Trump had already threatened to, quote, spill the beans on Heidi Cruz after an image of Melania Trump was used in an ad supporting Cruz.
Tonight, an enraged Ted Cruz looking right into our camera to deliver this message to Donald Trump.
Donald, you're a sniveling coward and leave Heidi the hell alone.
The Texas senator wasn't done there, firing back after Trump retweeted this image. Cruz's wife in an unflattering pose next to Melania Trump.
It is not acceptable for a big, loud New York bully to attack my wife.
And I hope and pray that Donald Trump will be reelected as president of the United States.
Here's the part that's complicated, guys, is when we look at this clip here. I know we talked about Donald Trump. He's walking in there with his devout sort of MAGA cult fans. He's out there, whatever, doing his little Trumpy UFC thing. And he's totally going in on this bro culture. He's totally going in on the manosphere, the UFC fans, the Andrew Tate fans. But you got to ask yourself, what's the future for these guys? The world's not getting cheaper. AI is coming in and taking over some shit. Now, according to Trump, he wants to bring back factory jobs. He wants to bring back construction work. Howard Lutnick was talking about these guys repairing robots. So all of these guys are going to have jobs that their dads and their grandpas had. They're going to go back in time. While the young women that are going to college and getting advanced degrees at a rate that's 3 to 1, 4 to 1, what the young men are. And the young men are we won. Trump is in office. They're they can use slurs. They can use the R slur. They can use the F slur. They can say the N word and they're not going to get canceled. Yeah, they can be whatever, as misogynist as they want in the gaming world. But where are they going to be 20 years from now? When those girls that are going to college that are going to end up being their bosses. And even though they got rid of DEI, even if they hire on merit, they're hoping they go back to where these guys get the job anyway, even with no skills. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's already enough talented people that are not bros. Like it used to be these guys would show up and just get the boss job just because they were white bros. But I don't really see that happening en masse anymore. That only happens when you're wealthy like Trump, or you get, brought up by a wealthy person like that. But a lot of these working class young men who are worried about how they're going to pay their bills and shit, they're not going to be better off 10 years from now following Trumpism and shit. They're not. They're going to have shitty jobs that they probably didn't want, but that's going to be the only options they have left. And we're going to watch the snub again. But yeah, see, this is how he does his man of the people. This is the only environment he's going to be a man in the people. But dude, it's so many, it's just almost all white men. You know what I'm saying? Basically all white men. That's what it is. It's just a bunch of whatever, screaming or whatever. There's the snub. These guys are fucking degenerates, though. And dude, we got to fight this shit. We do, because fuck them, bro. That's where we're at with America. We are in rape culture, like the dirtiest, scuzziest rapists on the planet. And they are like being celebrated by these guys. These guys are fucking criminals, dude. Dude, yeah, Conor McGregor. That guy a woman so severely she had to have her fucking tampon surgically removed from her body. And he was speaking at the podium in the fucking White House, bro. Fucking degenerate, bro. That's the world we're living in right now. The rapists are now the guys with all the power. I mean, dude, you got Trump, you got RFK Jr., you got Pete Hegseth. All three of those guys are rapists. Jeffrey Epstein was obviously racist. They had the Tate brothers there. You got, Conor McGregor. Those guys are all rapists. Okay, Russell Brand is a racist. I mean, Brett Kavanaugh, racist. Clarence Thomas, racist. I mean, dude, we could just go on. We can go into his inside set. Corey Lewandowski, who was cheating with Kristi Noem. He's an alcoholic and a woman abuser. Right? The number of DV people in his cabinet, it's wild. But bro, if you're a rapist and a woman abuser, you are in the club. It's almost a requirement. This is what happened here in America. And I mean, dude, it's going to be quite a cleanup. It is. It's going to be quite a cleanup. And what's going to happen is I feel like a lot more women are going to end up being gay by the end of this thing. We're going to have women that are choosing lesbianism. I shit you not. Dude, we are going to have a cultural shift where young, educated women are going to start choosing lesbianism. They are. Dude, I predict in the next 30 years, the number of lesbians is going to spike like fucking crazy, bro. And I can't say I blame them. You know what I'm saying? If your dating pool is a bunch of rape apologists as a woman, who's going to have that? The problem is he only wants to serve these people. That's the real problem. This is not all of America. This is, the UFC America. This is, a significant section of middle America, rural America, NFL and UFC and boxing America. It's male-dominated America, 100%. Dana White is a wife beater. Jake Paul, questionable interactions with women. A lot of these UFC fighters are rapists or, DV abusers. So it's like he is just feeding that Andrew Tate kickboxer, UFC fighter, male-dominant. Women are second string. Women are there for, fucking and babies and to look good on the arm. And you got to be the right kind of woman. You got to have those blonde highlights and the boob job and whatever. But that's all he's serving. And it's really sad because that's not America. That's a piece of America. And yeah, they're not even celebrating a president. What they're doing is this. You ready? I'll tell you what this is. Think about this. Let's go back to junior high. for a minute and think about the biggest bullies in junior high. Remember what those kids were like. The biggest bullies, whatever, but the teachers like prevented them, could give them detention and shit. Okay, now think about what would happen if those bullies from middle school took over the city council meeting and got to be the mayor. The biggest 9th grade bully or 8th grade bully in that school became the mayor of the fucking town, right? That's what this is. This is the UFC fan, whatever, the toxically masculine middle school, kind of brain dead, but feisty with a lot of money kid is now the mayor of the whole town. So the UFC people, you know, Chads, are like flipping out because the king of their Chad manosphere woman and LGBTQ hating Brohaven is now the most powerful man on the planet. And he's gonna like fuck up everybody they don't like. So it is like a middle school gang that feels like they took over the fucking White House, right? That's what it is. The hall monitor is now the principal of the school. And so all the bros are like fucking shitting themselves. But unfortunately, it's gonna destroy the fucking community. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.